Where's my D20? Gobbo!
Hello and welcome to Hobb's Horror Stories. I am Hobb, your hobgoblin narrator. Today we have an interesting TTRPG horror story for you, but a quick warning before we begin, this story does have mention of sexual assault and other NSFW topics, so if that makes you uncomfortable, be warned now. Today's story comes from Reddit at r/rpghorrorstories and was written by Love Buns. The title of today's story is How My Ex-Boyfriend Outed Himself as an Abuser Through D&D. Content warning. Slightly NSFW, vague mentions of sexual assault/abuse, and a foolish 18-year-old girl making foolish 18-year-old girl mistakes. So as a quick preface, I was raised by a very strange, crazy lady. I was told fantasy, sci-fi, comic books, basically anything not Barbie or Easy Bake was not for girls. Among a lot of worse stuff that may have something to do with why I was 18 dating a 26-year-old. So the second she was out of my life, I dove headfirst into all of it, and maybe got a little bit obsessive. We here at Goblins and Gremlins do not support grown men dating girls that are pretty much children. That is absolutely disgusting. You should not date someone that there is an almost 10-year difference the moment they become a legal adult. Seems a little bit of predator behavior if you ask me. Alright, back to the story. At some point, my boyfriend at the time ended up telling me that a friend of his wanted to DM a short beginner campaign for new players. Obviously, I was all in, but had no idea how to proceed. The players were me, 17 to 18. That makes it even worse. She was 17 and he's 26. Disgusting. Alright, back to it. Ex-boyfriend, 26-ish, and DM in his 30s, plus one other player who I do not remember much of, but I do remember he played a homebrewish monk. The DM worked very closely with me on my character, an elf cleric of a homebrew religion. Her name was Asha, and she was a very shy, quiet, nun-like character with immense amounts of devotion to her homebrew goddess. He had helped me make a low-maintenance RP character who also had a very strong tie to the lore of the world and the planned plot. It was great for my personality and honestly a very nice way to slowly wade into the waters of D&D, especially roleplay. The DM also told me in private that I was going to be something of a MacGuffin, as Asha's goddess would commune with her through dreams and visions. But I would have the final say on what to share with my party both in-game and out of character. The basic plot was that of a sect of Asha's religion becoming a cult and warping the religion, so Asha's goddess sent her on a mission to squash the heretics.
Purge the heretics in the name of the God Emperor! Wait, nope, wrong setting.
Ex-boyfriend rolled a tiefling warlock, who he named after his own gamer tag. Let's call it 7.
No, don't do that. That's like the edgiest thing you can do. You know what? If we're naming characters after gamer tags, let me introduce my new character, XX the Warrior XX. God, I was a cringy teen.
So Asha and Monk meet up and have the same goals. Turns out the cult has taken over the monk's temple and killed his best friend. Asha doesn't trust strangers who are not of her religion, but her goddess tells her to work with the monk. Okay, cool. Then we meet 7. Asha instantly hates him.
I mean, with a name like that, I would too.
He's a warlock.
Of course he is. Let me guess. He's an orphan who watched his parents die and sold his soul to gain power and kill everyone involved. Now he's a nihilist who's one with the darkness, doesn't trust anyone, and keeps bringing up how painful and tragic his life is. Did I miss anything?
And she is a religious fanatic. Monk convinces Asha to let the warlock join us as he has some secret mission from his patron that at least somewhat aligns with Asha and Monk's. She doesn't like it, but she trusts Monk. because her goddess said that she should. Seven instantly starts to hit on Asha. She's rejecting awkwardly both in-game and out of character, but it's not too bad. Wonder if you felt awkward because it's a 26-year-old man and you're 17. It kind of makes sense that an evil warlock would get a kick out of making this goody two-shoes feel uncomfortable. We have a few fun fights, meet a PC who Asha really likes and gets a great vibe off of, but can't convince to join us because I fail the charisma checks. She's mad shy and timid, and she's expressing this affection to the NPC when Seven gets mad and he tries to steal from him in his own home. Asha then gets mad and calls him out. I never said she was subtle. And instead of dropping the random thing he stole, Seven decides to attack the NPC. Guards get called, DM goes easy on us, and instead of TBKing us, has us kicked out of the city. This is when Seven kicks it up. He begins making much harder, stronger moves on Asha, and out of character, I'm beginning to feel really uncomfortable. I'm new to RP, and at this time I was very uncomfortable with PDA, so this was not great for me. We make camp after a rough goblin encounter, and Seven immediately says that he wants to sneak into my tent. What is this guy? P. Diddy? Jesus Christ. God. DM pauses and asks, why? Ex-boyfriend. I'm gonna f*** her. DM, Asha? I quietly and uncomfortably respond, Asha wouldn't do that. DM, that's a no, Seven. So, Monk, ex-boyfriend. I sneak in then. DM takes a long pause. To talk to her? Ex-boyfriend. Nope. To sleep with her. DM takes a longer pause. Actually, Asha has taken a vow of celibacy. Sorry, I almost forgot. This wasn't on my backstory, but it wasn't far out of the realm of possibility. I did note on backstory that she was somewhat prudish, so a vow of celibacy doesn't seem that much of a stretch. Ex-boyfriend. So what? My character doesn't care about that. DM. So you're going to force yourself on her? Ex-boyfriend. If I have to. He is literally grinning as he says this. Monk looks disgusted and shocked. DM just looks confused. I'm starting to feel myself shake and go into a panic attack. I can't say anything. I'm just trying to focus on my breathing. DM. I'm not allowing that. Seven doesn't do that. Just no. He pauses for a long time, takes out his glasses and rubs his face, and then he sighs and says, you know guys, I've got a headache. Let's end this session early. As we pack up, DM says he has a new dream for Asha, and it's the norm for us to discuss those in private, away from Monk and ex-boyfriend. So we move into a different room. DM gives me his wife's cell number and says to call her if I ever feel unsafe. He tells me that I have a lot of friends who care about me, and that I don't have to put up with anyone mistreating me. Honestly, this DM is a hero. I'm very proud to hear of someone actually standing up for somebody right there at the table. Whoever this DM is, I want to give him a pat on the back, shake his hand, buy him a steak dinner. He's great. He is outstanding. When we get into the car, ex-boyfriend starts ranting about Monk, saying that when we were alone, Monk had made a comment about how gross he had been, and that ex-boyfriend had said that his character was just as entitled to Asha's body as he was to mine. DM never invited us to another session, though him and his wife did call me a few times after to check on me, something that would send ex-boyfriend into rages. Looking back on it, I can see that this game was the first time anyone had put into words what was happening in real time to me, and hearing it from an older man really began to fit the pieces together in my head how unhealthy that relationship was. And yes, the things he tried to do to my character were similar to the things he tried to do to me. It took a D&D campaign to make me and his friends realize how nasty he actually was. This was 6 or 7 years ago, but I've been thinking about this lately because of a friend of mine encouraging me to try out D&D again. this time with him as a DM and a male character inspired by a cross between Dick Grayson and a character from the Feist novels. Hopefully, second time's the charm. TLDR. Boyfriend at the time plays D&D with me, outs himself as a creep by trying to rape my character, loses respect of his longtime friends. P.S. Sorry if most of the horror from the story happens out of character, but I'm only realizing recently that this was when that horrible relationship started to crumble, and I'm only recently rediscovering my interest in TTRPGs, so the events have linked in my head, and I thought it would be cathartic to share to anyone who cares. I'm a long time out of that relationship and in a healthy one with a man my own age, one with a lot more listening, respect, and care. Thanks for reading. Edit. Wow, I am blown away with the amount of support and care in the comments. Thank you all so much. I don't really make a lot of posts on Reddit, usually I just scroll, and I never expected to wake up to this. Thank you so much for showing me how truly awesome and beautiful this community actually is. I've been hesitant to start again, but this is with some very patient friends that have been helping me here and there, and I felt like I was ready. This was honestly a post meant to be me shouting my story to the void, so I'm shocked and touched that the void decided to shout back with words of kindness. You are all amazing, thank you so much. Honestly, I am glad that this did not ruin D&D for the writer of this story. So many people will have a bad experience with a game that isn't because of the game itself, it's because of the people they're playing with, and it turns them away from the game forever. But sometimes you just need to find the right group. A group can turn a bad situation into an amazing one, or a great game into a horrible horror story like this. Alright, well, enough positivity. Something that I do need to say right now, that ex-boyfriend deserves to be in jail. He is straight up a pedophile, a assaulter, abuser, tried to be a rapist. I mean, he all around terrible guy. He should be in jail. He should be rotting for the rest of his days. There's no nice way to say that. I just need to get all this off my chest. A lot going on in the media nowadays. There's a lot of people that need to be locked up, never to see the sunlight again. It's that simple. Alright, well, with that, let's wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you have any stories you would like to have read here on the channel, please share them to the email in the description below. Also, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, it would help us greatly to slay the monster known as the algorithm. Also, if you're looking for more great horror stories like these, please click the link at the end of this video. Thank you from all of us here at Goblins and Gremlins.